G'day, Raleigh. Kicking off a series on the podcast, neighbourhood guides in Raleigh. We're going to dive deep into individual neighbourhoods and do a snapshot for those who live in Raleigh, moving to Raleigh, anyone really. And obviously it's not just going to be about living in Raleigh and the homes, the real estate side of things, but there's a lot of cool things to do in and around each neighbourhood that we're going to highlight.
That's right.
And we're going to kick off the first with the Boylan Heights neighbourhood, a historic neighbourhood near downtown Raleigh.
Yes, we've been having fun checking out the neighbourhoods to put together blog content, and we're doing videos as well, and
Correct.
reels,
Yes.
and podcasts.
Yes.
So it's been exciting exploring them,
Yeah.
getting to know the personality, which is what we love to do. So we're happy to do all of that and share it with you and help you to do the same in the neighbourhoods.
Yeah, besides downtown Raleigh, neighbourhoods are what can make up the city and part of the city that we love to explore, and you never know what you're going to find until you spend some quality time there. So we're going to share what we're finding. Doing all the things, blog post, video, and we're going to chat about it here on the podcast today.
I just want to jump in and just say I'm really impressed with how Raleigh is building out its neighbourhoods and making them really cool gathering spaces. Because if you think some of our favourite places we've been to, like Food Just Use USA, like Nashville. We love going to Nashville because there's so many cool neighborhoods that we go to. Like we go to East Nashville, we go to Germantown, we go to the Gulch, like all these cool neighborhoods. So it's not just a downtown area. You get to experience what's happening. Each neighborhood has a different vibe. So it's like you go to Nashville, but really in Nashville, you're going to like 3 or 4 different places.
Yeah, we're not just
the neighborhoods.
Bar hopping on Broadway at the honky tonk bars, which is fun and a must do. But of course, yeah, the neighborhoods are where it's at. And same with Raleigh, like cool things to do in downtown Raleigh, but the surrounding neighbourhoods in and around inside the Beltline and also outside the Beltline too.
Yeah, because actually we really seek local neighbourhoods out more when we travel now than actually downtown areas. So
Yeah.
well done, Raleigh.
Yeah. All right. So Boylan Heights neighbourhood, I mentioned is historic. I remember our first experience there. We got a friend of a friend who invited us to an election party in 2004.
Which we thought was really strange.
Yeah, it was
because Australians don't really
unusual.
talk about politics, or I don't know anyone in Australia, friends, family, who they vote for. So it's not. It was like, this is really weird. People having an election
I
party.
might know who they vote for, but we don't have election parties, and it's kind of like, this feels like going and watching a game, like a Super Bowl party or something like that. Things to eat and drink and staring at the screen. Is like, anyway, that was strange. But
we're always up for a party, so it was like, okay, we'll do it.
Yeah, it was one of our early introductions to Raleigh in the USA.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was nighttime though, so we didn't get a good look at Boylan Heights, and it was quite a while before we went back there. But
we liked the vibe straight away,
yes,
didn't we?
totally.
With the homes and all of that was great.
Yeah, the southern historic homes. As I mentioned, I love to be in neighbourhoods where I can walk to a lot of things, and it's right on the edge of downtown Raleigh and the Warehouse District, and near Dorothy Dix Park. And we often, if we had house goals and a few neighbourhoods we want to live in Raleigh, Boylan Heights is probably in one of the top 3.
It is.
And we often drive through there and walk through there and just put out that energy, just to envision us. This is our local area, wandering around.
Well, that's how you help bring dreams
Manifest.
into reality.
Yes.
We used to do that back in Australia. We had we call them caravan parks, but for you guys, an RV park on the beach near where we lived. And Craig and I would often just wander around there and dream about travelling. And then 20 years later, that's all we did with our life. So there's great power in doing that. So if you want a neighbourhood that you want to live in, don't shut the door on your dream. Just grab a cup of coffee from the local neighbourhood coffee shop that we're going to tell you about and wander around and pretend you live there.
Totally.
Or go to an election party there.
So I mentioned inside the Beltline, which is basically inside the I-440 that rings the city. And a lot of Raleigh's historic neighbourhoods are inside the Beltline. And of course, Boylan Heights was one of the first planned suburbs with development beginning in 1907. And it was added to the National Register of Historic Places as a historic district in 85.
Which is comforting because then they can only touch so much and change so much.
No. So
That's
I guess
good.
when we do buy our dream house there, we'll have
Integrity will be there.
Yes, the character and history, and probably can't do too much to the the front of the property and stuff.
Which is important for people to understand if they do want to move to that area, that there are limitations in terms of what you want to do with your house, because it is a protected area. And we've heard from people living in there in historic Oakwood that even if you just want to paint your fence, it can be quite a drama to get permission to do that. So if, you're thinking moving to any historic neighbourhood, not just in Raleigh but anywhere, that's something to be aware of.
Totally.
If you like home renovations, fixer-uppers.
The interior, you can always, play with that.
Yeah, the interior, but the outside, you might want to move somewhere else.
Yes,
Anyway.
so keep it historic, keep it southern, keep it Raleigh. So in Boylan Heights, typical homes you'll find craftsman bungalows and transitional Queen Anne colonial revivals and Dutch colonials. And the other thing we love is all the mature, beautiful trees that line the streetscapes. And some of the properties have views of the city skyline. It's just a lovely neighbourhood to walk around and explore.
That's right. We've ridden our bikes through there because we've done the Art to Heart Trail. So we have content, we have blog posts and video on that. Really recommend doing it, especially during the fall because of the colours. But you can cycle from the Art Museum through NC State, along the greenways, and then you end up coming past Pullen Park and into the Boylan Heights district. So you pretty much finish in that neighbourhood. So that's a really fun, unique way to explore the neighbourhood.
Yeah. I mentioned location. So it is on the immediate southwest edge of the city centre, and the streets, it's elevated. So the streets extend from the downtown grid but curve up aesthetically to match the contours of the hilltop setting. And you are 15 minutes walk to Fayetteville Street, the main street in downtown Raleigh. You're like a 10-minute walk to the warehouse district, which has a ton of restaurants, cafes, breweries, bars, lots going on there. And essentially you're just moments away from all the entertainment and bars and places to eat in downtown Raleigh. Like you're right near Red Hat Amphitheatre, you're near Duke Energy Centre for the Performing Arts. All these places are walkable, which is awesome, and which I love. Walkable or bikeable.
Even Hillsborough Street, you could easily walk down.
You can walk to Hillsborough
No
Street. Glenwood South, you could walk to Glenwood South area if you're into that. And Dorothea Dix Park is just across Western Boulevard. You can walk to that too. And Boylan Heights is one of the most valuable neighbourhoods in the city, obviously, and that's probably only going to increase with everything going on at Dorothy Dix Park once they finish all the renovations there.
Yes, I really regret not buying there like 10 years ago. But
like we had the choice.
we all have those stories, don't we?
If onlys.
Hindsight's a wonderful
But yeah,
thing.
location. Here's history, character, and lots of cool things to access by foot or by bicycle. They have an annual art walk, which we have done, which was cool, where select houses open up their front porches and artists get to feature their artwork for sale, or you can just, walk around and inspect, obviously, which is a really cool thing.
It was fun. Now, it was held in November, I remember, because my sister was visiting from Australia and some other friends, and so we walked around there with them. But it was a really nice way to, it was super friendly, get to know neighbours, artists, and we discovered, actually, it was my birthday last week, my sister sent me a canvas of an artist we discovered at the Boylan Heights Art Walk. She's a local artist from Wendell, and she sketches out birds with red threads tied to something that's kind of anchoring them to life, and it's kind of like showing the battle between the need for freedom, or the desire for freedom, and the need for stability, which is a challenge of our life as travellers. But anyway, discovered that at the annual art walk, and really cool. My sister loved it that much that she chased it down online and sent it to me for my birthday. But
yeah,
shout out to that artist, Amy, and I've forgotten her last name. Sorry, I had not written it down, but I'll put it in the show notes for you.
Amazing. Now, coffee. We always start with coffee first, no matter where we go, if we're living here or on a trip somewhere. And we've driven past this place and walked past this place so many times, but only recently we stepped inside for some bizarre reason. But Rebus Works is right there in the heart of Boylan Heights area, and they have great coffee. It's like an old, shop store, little. It has a mixture of things going on, like little grocery items. You can go in there and play vinyls. You can get a coffee. You can get a bite to eat.
You can get a beer on draft or grab one from the fridge.
Yeah, you can get an alcoholic beverage, and you can buy like some artifacts and stuff.
Well, it started as a excuse me. It started as a gallery, an art gallery, to support local artists and sell their artwork within the store, and then it just grew from there. So the art's still available to purchase, and there's great art in there. And they also underneath, next door and underneath, there are art studios, still working art studios there. So it really is it's a neighbourhood place that supports local. And most of the produce inside the store that they sell is local. So they really make an effort to do that where they can.
Yeah, and I love the retro vibes going on inside too, like
fun.
the old school. Like I said, you could spin some vinyls and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the decor is cool.
Yeah, and they have a local coffee roaster, the Left Hook now, is working in a space downstairs. We tried some of her cold brew, which was great. So another really cool thing about it, local actual coffee roaster in there.
And they have pop-up food events too, like on the weekends, I believe. The one that was happening the weekend we were there was like steak sandwiches and stuff, and and a seafood, a fish theme as well. Like I think it varies.
Yeah, and someone just told me next door, I think, that they also have DJ pop-ups there too sometimes.
Yeah, cool.
Bringing the party to Boylan Heights.
Yeah. Now from coffee to bakery. Like if you're looking for your local bakery place in and around Raleigh, Boulted Bread is one of the popular places, and it's literally like a 5-minute walk down the hill. People love our kids love their chocolate croissants,
They look great.
morning buns, and they've got all these artisanal breads, and so they do some great stuff there. Like I said, your real local neighbourhood bakery.
Get your morning breakfast there and then head down to Rebus for a coffee. But do get there early because they sell out very quickly of their stuff. They're that popular.
Yes, their popular items go quick. And so, get there. Get them fresh. Get there early.
Yeah.
Brunch, dinner and drinks just up the street and across Boylan Bridge. Well, let me just mention Boylan Bridge, which connects Boylan Heights to near the Warehouse District area.
Over the train line.
Over the train line near the Raleigh Union Station, where the Amtrak leaves from. Yeah, Boylan Bridge, you get one of the best views of the downtown Raleigh skyline.
Good at sunset too, isn't it? It's
great.
It's a very popular sunset spot.
Oh, and sunrise. I've been there at sunrise, actually, flying my drone in that area, and you get to watch the sunrise come up over the skyline in the east, obviously, but at sunset, like the colours of the sun going down wash over beautifully.
And it reflects off the buildings.
Yes.
Yeah. But you've also got, don't forget that just for people in that area, as you mentioned, Dorothy Dix is really close by. So Dorothy Dix also is another great sunset spot. So you in walking distance to really some of Raleigh's best sunset viewing. Yeah,
and if you haven't heard of Dorothy Dix Park before, like it's a huge city park. Like I said, within walking distance of Boylan Heights. We love going there for picnics. They have lots of great big festivals. One's on this weekend, the Falling for Local Festival.
They do free yoga. They do stargazing.
Yeah.
And there's some awesome plans ahead.
They have the sunflowers field in bloom in season. Just beautiful big mature oak trees, and just walk around. Like it's a big space. It's kind of like our mini version of Central Park, and they've got big plans to renovate it, and it's going to be super cool. So walk across Boylan Bridge and you get to Wye Hill Kitchen and Brewing. Great for brunch, lunch, dinner. And their outdoor patio offers the best views of downtown Raleigh. So go for a brew and stay for the view, as they say.
There you go. It's all about a delightful experience.
Yeah, it would be cool to have Wye Hill as your local.
I would so happy if I lived in Boylan Heights.
Yes.
Although it'd be dangerous because I think I'd be at Wye Hill every evening.
Yeah.
And then Rebus every morning.
Yeah.
Which, maybe not a bad life.
Yeah. And speaking of drinks, just walk down the hill again another 5 minutes just past Boulted Bread, and you get to a new place called Vaulted Craft Brew.
That was a cool spot.
Which we went into recently, and it's the old National Bank that they've redeveloped.
I'm just so pleased that the integrity of the Raleigh area, the historic area, is being preserved by, entrepreneurs that are coming in, visionaries, and creating new things that are deciding they want to maintain the integrity of what's already there and make it, refresh it, just make it cool to fit into the 2020s. And so that's what they've done there at Vault. They could have knocked that building down, built something new, but they decided to keep it, refresh it, and it was a drive-through bank.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of all American banks are somehow.
Maybe it was one of the first in the city. I don't know.
I don't know. But so it's got that feel to it. There's an outdoor patio, but where the tellers were, like
Bank
the
tellers.
bench is where the bar is. And it's great, and they just house mostly local stuff too, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got 16 taps on draft. Some great NC local beers. And then they also have 2 big built-in coolers with cold beer, which you can take home. But,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool modern space. They have TVs. You can watch the game on the weekend.
And they do, they have food trucks, and they do, was it trivia nights? I think they were telling us they do trivia nights, and they have, late at night, they'll have a DJ come in and spin some stuff. But I think it was the trivia night they have there. That's quite big.
Have to confirm that for you. But Vault Craft Beer, easy walk from Wye Hill, just down the street.
Fun new space in Raleigh. Check it out.
Yes. And another place that we love to go, North Carolina is a big barbecue state, and another easy walk down there is one of the famous barbecue places in North Carolina, Sam Jones Barbecue, originally out of Winterville near Greenville, and they opened up, when was it? Maybe 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Fairly recent. But yeah, they're famous for smoking whole hogs on site every day, and popular is their chopped barbecue, fried chicken, and their baked flat cornbread. But when we were there recently, the server said he loves the sweet potato muffins, which were great too.
Yeah, local tip, insider tip.
Yeah. But yeah, indoor and outdoor seating. I love sitting out there on their patio. It's very popular at lunchtime.
They have live music sometimes.
They do have live music. Yeah, it's just a nice space and great food. Love me some barbecue. So again, you can walk to that from your home in Boylan Heights, or even if you don't live in Boylan Heights, just go to these places anyway. We always do. We don't live there.
Yeah, that's right. And
you
they
can pretend you live there like we do.
They have. I just thought now. I just remembered it is like an artistic vibe, because remember we did the art walk, and you go down the back, one of those streets right down the back, and there are several art studios down there.
Yeah,
remember,
there are
and
art
then we
studios.
walked through as well.
Correct.
So that's another thing you might not know about Boylan Heights area, especially if you haven't kind of walked down those back streets there, right down the very back of the neighbourhood. So there is, and then you've got Rebus Works and then the art walk. So it is an artsy kind of place.
Yeah, you have some creatives in the neighbourhood, and we also know a friend of ours lives there, and she said it's a very family-friendly place to live too for those who are interested in living there. So keep that in mind. But whilst there are no real restaurants and cafes actually within Boylan Heights besides Rebus Works, like I mentioned, you're literally like a 5-minute walk to the Boulted Bread.
So many options.
The Vault Craft Beer, Sam Jones Barbecue.
And Trophies around the corner too.
Trophy Brewing and Pizza you can walk to on West Morgan Street, is it? And easy walk to the Warehouse District, which is just below Wye Hill Kitchen and Brewing. And, some of our favourite places there, like Heirloom for another great coffee. You got Black and White Coffee. You got the Pit Barbecue if you want more barbecue. Morgan Street Food Hall, which can satisfy everyone. There's like 16 or 20 vendors. Barcelona Wine Bar. Place at the Table. You name it.
Yep. Good spot.
Great spot. And if you're looking for somewhere to stay in Boylan Heights, one of the unique accommodation offerings in the city is the Boutique Heights House Hotel, which was renovated a few years ago. It was the old Montfort Hall, a beautiful big southern property.
It's gorgeous. It's won some awards. It's been featured in big publications. I think it was Travel and Leisure. So it's a beautiful space. They do have a bar there.
A cocktail bar.
So if you aren't staying there, you can experience the cocktail bar. I believe it was only through the week. I believe they keep, I'm not sure if it's changed, and it may change, so always check in before you go to make sure. but it was always Friday and Saturday closed for guests only, or if they had private events and stuff. But I think the other days you can go.
I think you have to book in as well and reserve a time.
I believe they've just recently changed that.
Oh, they've opened that up.
But again, double check because things are changing all the time, and it might not be current when you're listening to this.
Yeah, it's a big property and they've got beautiful grounds outside. We've been to an event there with Visit North Carolina one time. They have fire pits outside and stuff. But if you want there, it'd be a very cool space. It's not family friendly as an accommodation option.
It's not even as an event option. I don't think,
it's more boutique-y, great for couples or, solo.
I love their fire pit area.
Yeah.
I want to make something similar in our house.
Oh, you don't like my fire pit?
No, another fire pit on the grass area. Different fire pit.
Copy that.
Okay.
I'll get onto it.
Anyway.
So that's a Heights House Hotel.
Yeah.
But yeah, there. Anything else we can share about Boylan Heights?
No, it's great. Go check it out. Just walk around, soak up the vibe, experience it. And if you want to move in there, why not? We would love to. It's not a lot comes up, I don't think, for sale or even for rent in that area. But if you are moving to Raleigh and need help finding a property, contact us because I'm a licensed realtor and I can help you connect with a perfect realtor for you. Although there's no such thing as perfect, let me correct that.
Yeah.
As a realtor, that's a great fit for you and can really help you.
Yeah. That's not to say places don't come on the market in Boylan Heights.
No,
obviously they do. And if you want to be in the know, we can help you be in the know and contact you with a local expert that focuses on that area.
Yeah. It's a very small neighbourhood, so that's another reason why.
Yeah.
Inventory is not always high.
So there you have it. So we're going to be doing some more of these neighbourhood guides inside the Beltline, outside the Beltline. And like I said, we love our neighbourhoods in and around Raleigh.
We sure do.
As you know, before we dive deep into Boylan Heights, we didn't think there was much there, but obviously, a short walk and opens up to all the cool things on the edge of the city.
It's just a mindset, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. All right.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening and following on. If you haven't subscribed to our podcast yet, you can do that on wherever you listen to them. Share it with your friends. That's super helpful for us, as well as any of our blog content on thisisraleigh.com. and content we put out on social media. And head on over to our blog. You can subscribe to our email newsletter. We send out regular updates about some of our fun finds, what's happening in Raleigh, events, all sorts of things. So you can do that. thisisraleigh.com. We'll be in the show notes as well.
Yeah, and stay tuned for our video and blog post about Boylan Heights. And once they're published, soon, hopefully, we'll link to them in the show notes of this podcast.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. See you in the next podcast.
Bye.